Hey, how y'all doing, baby? It's Monday. It's Monday. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. And got to gather up the tools, baby. Head back to work this week. I hope everything goes fine and you get through it just fine. We'll look forward to another weekend in about 4 or 5 days, 4 days or so. So, what's going on? Baby, I got mail. I got mail from Marianne McLaughlin today. I got the June edition of Marianne's Life, and we love to get it. Mama just sat in there and read the whole letter to me just a little while ago, Marianne. And darling, you need to go visit those state parks because you got that tag now. So you need to just gather up a little gas money and head out to see some of those state parks because it's well worth the trip. I did indeed look up Mackinac, Michigan. What a beautiful place, and I can understand wholly why you would want that to be the last place you ever visit. So, anyway, thank you, Marianne. And oh, she mentioned in there I have it Irish steam. That's she was talking in her letter about when the Irish came to the United States, when the immigrants from Ireland came here and how badly they were treated, and Irish steam was slang for labor, baby. It's shovel. You put it to work and give it Irish steam. So yeah, I got a laugh out of that. That's pretty good. But it shows the problems that have been manifested by those on extreme sides when immigrants come into our country and they think the whole town's going to burn down or some shit like that. They don't understand the fact that immigrants are what made this nation strong, and we have enough problems going on right now on our southern border. And it just, when I was looking at that, I was reminded of the very document that gives us our freedoms, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It doesn't say all U.S. citizens are created equal. It says all men are created and endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. You can't take these rights away, baby. They're sent from God above Almighty. He gave them to you. And included in those are the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And isn't that what those migrants are seeking? Life, liberty, and happiness. Aren't we all looking for that? We need to remember where we came from, baby. Anyway, what's going on? I got something I want to talk about, but let's get the good news out of the way. One, New York governor signs a law allowing Congress to get Donnie's state taxes. That's right. It's signed, sealed, delivered. Congress can request from the state of New York Donnie tax returns there, and they'll turn them over, and we'll start getting the first glimpse of what he lied about on his state taxes, because you know damn good he did, and there's going to be more stories coming out about that. So that's one. Chalk it up on our side, baby. And we're chipping away, baby. Anyway, Eric Swalwell, the congressman from California, has decided to drop out of the presidential race. He's no longer going to be trying to run for president, so that's the first person to drop out. I believe there should be others that should drop out. I'm not the one to call that rate, but if they keep persisting, then yeah, I'm going to have to start calling out people who should just quit and start supporting some of those that are at the top. Anyway, everybody's got a shot. We have another debate coming up in July, on July 30th and 31st. As a matter of fact, they're going to draw the names for the debate on live TV, CNN said, because they don't want anybody thinking that it's rigged in any way for one particular candidate. But don't worry, Eric Swalwell's jumping out, and Tom Steyer is thinking about jumping in. He's kind of informed his staff that he may announce a bid for 2020. Tom Steyer is the guy that's been running commercials on TV trying to get Congress, like the rest of us, to impeach Donnie. And that's the only way. I still believe that's the only way to get his ass out. We need to beat him in 2020, but we have to have all of this dirt. We need to impeach his ass before we get there, baby. So there can be no question about who's the right one for the job. But, so yeah, one jumps out, one's thinking about jumping in. We'll see what happens. Anyway. What else? The UK ambassador. Yep, that's all up in the news, because it seems that the U.S. The ambassador to the United States from the United Kingdom, Kim DeRoche, evidently did his job. His job, according to the British government, is to give the British an unvarnished report of what he thinks is going on in Washington. What do you think about the administration over there? Give us a report over here because we want to know. That's what it is. Well, those got leaked out. They were not intended to be public, but they got leaked out, and aren't we glad they did, baby? What does it say? John Wells says it says that the Trump administration is incompetent, inept, and clumsy. Well, we all know that. We all knew that already. We see it every day in the United States right over here. We're the first ones to see that shit. It comes out on Twitter. He's ignorant. Donnie, redefining stupid one tweet at a time, baby, and he does it all the time. But it was the other things that were written in there. Kim DeRoche, the ambassador, wrote to the government, his government, and said that the Trump's career could end in a disgrace. Trump's career could end in a disgrace. You reckon that's true? I do. And we're going to come to that in just a second. He's already a disgraceful stain on our nation already, so yeah, it could end in disgrace. And he said conflicts within the White House are like knife fights. Baby, I guess everybody's trying to stab each other. Well, I bet old Steve Miller's got him a big old sword, baby, because he's been winning a lot lately with his racist little bullshit. The little Nazi needs to go away. But Donnie says he doesn't want to play with them anymore. Don't want to talk to that ambassador no more. I'll take my ball and go home. That's Donnie. He's a little child. If he gets criticized, he gets his panties all up in a little wad, and there you go. We're down the rabbit hole. He'll come up and say something. He's already called the guy a loser and all the other things that you know Donnie's going to do. But I like that. I took notice of that one line in there that says that Donnie's career could end in a disgrace. And the reason I thought about that was because of the other story that's in the news today. And that's Jeff Epstein, baby. They arrested him, got off the airplane, arrested him right in the airport and sent his ass right to jail, baby. And he got in front of a judge today. He was arraigned in front of a judge. Pleaded not guilty, by the way, just in case you're wondering. But it's that little arrest right there, I think is going to cause an avalanche of information and stories that are fixing to come out. This story, we can thank the Miami Herald, investigative journalists, for giving us this, because they're the ones that dug into the information to find out what's going on here. Because there was a story, and you know, a good investigative journalist, well, they like a good story. So they dug hard. And when the story came out, well, the law had nothing else they could do except arrest the man for the crimes that he's committed. And what has he committed? Well, he's running a sex trafficking ring for little girls. Yep, Jeffrey Epstein, he has a liking for little girls. 14, 15-year-olds, Well, he got busted down in Miami. In 2007, he went to court, baby. And the prosecutor, the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of Florida, a guy by the name of, what's his name? Alex Acosta. Doesn't that sound familiar? Yeah, it does. He's the labor secretary right now. He is sitting cabinet member in Donnie's cabinet. Labor secretary. But back then, he was the U.S. attorney down there. And boy, did he cut Jeffrey Epstein a little deal there, baby. Jeff, he'd been accused of all these crimes of sex with little girls and all that. So that's a big story, baby. People that do that, they go to jail. And Epstein did go to jail. But Acosta gave him a hell of a lifetime, once in a lifetime deal, they said. Yeah. He served 13 months in prison. Not in prison, in jail down in Miami. Oh, yeah, you could say it was a jail. He walked out of it every day. He had 12 hours every day that he could just leave. They called it a work release. He could go take care of his business. Just come back on at night, take a nap here, and go on about your business. And he had a private wing they set up there in the jailhouse. Are you shitting me? Because he's a billionaire? Yep, that's right, baby, because the law is different from you. From us to somebody like him with money and power and friends. He had friends in high places, baby. He had them all over the place. The royal family in England, everywhere he had friends. One of them was Donnie the Dump, baby. Donnie the Dictator. Trump, baby. Good buddies with Epstein. Yeah, what was that Trump said about him? That they had something in common, that they both liked beautiful women, but that Epstein liked his a little on the younger side. But they's all in common. He's a good guy. That's what Donnie says. Yep, that's who he keeps company with. Anyway, let's delve into this shit because this is what's going to get interesting. The Miami Herald came out with the story in Golda's about the sweet deal that Acosta had given Donnie. But I read over that stuff, and there's a few things that are going to come out in mind. That deal not only gave him a sweetheart deal and a light sentence, and expunge from the record, hide it from the public. You know, nobody needs to know about this shit. He's a rich guy. Let him do his stuff. He did wrong. Let's punish him a little bit, but not too much. Part of that deal was that the co-conspirators in that crime were immunized. That means everybody that was assisting Jeffrey Epstein, and there were plenty of them, both employees and acquaintances, it says, that helped him or participated in those crimes, were given immunity, baby. Immunity. That means that no names would come out, baby. No names at all. We could just get Jeffrey Epstein, do a few months in jail here, or at night, and it'll all go away. But it didn't go away because of the Miami Herald. Also, during that 2007 no trial, because he was allowed to plead. He was allowed to plead to 2 minor state charges. The rest of the charges were dropped. So the victims were never notified. The girls were never notified. Nobody was notified. And this is the man that made the deal that sits on Donnie's cabinet right now. But he also immunized the co-conspirators, and no names would come out. But now it's a new ball. We don't know who else. And we won't find out from the 2007 because they were immunized. They were given immunity and walked away with no punishment for participating in the same crime Jeffrey is fixing to go to prison for the rest of his stinking life. But there's 3 things, I read the article, they say that he can do. 1, he can plead not guilty. Now, if he pleads not guilty, that means there's a trial, baby, and we're going to call witnesses in there. And these witnesses are a little older now. Got a little age to them. They know what's going on. Yeah. So they're going to come in there and start testifying and calling other witnesses, and names are going to come out. All sorts of names. No telling whose names. He can do that. Or he can plead guilty without cooperating. Now, the story said there that the New York Southern District there's a very slim chance that they're going to accept that, considering the plea deal he got earlier. That would look like, oh yeah, this guy's doing it again. He's going to get a light sentence. He'll just plead guilty, and that's it, and not cooperate and keep everybody else's names out. Yeah, I don't think the deal's going to go down like that. The third possibility is that he pleads guilty and cooperates. In federal cooperation, just like old Michael Cohen found out, if you agree to cooperate, you have to agree to cooperate about everything you know, not just about this incident, about everything you know, who participated in this, everything, and maybe you get a little lighter sentence. So he's got really 2 options, because this Southern District of New York is not going to take a guilty without cooperating plea from him. Nope, baby, let's go to trial, because the story now is that we know that in the first case in 2007, baby, there were people that got off scot-free, walked away with nothing. No worries, no problems. But now it's a different ballgame. And those people and others that may be involved, you know, whoever that might be, had better start getting worried, the article said. They better lawyer up, baby. Because all it takes is, and they say right now that there's more witnesses since this story broke. And they put his picture out there. And they said if there were any other victims, please call this number. Well, guess what, baby? The phones are ringing off the hook. This went on for years. He paid little girls to have sex. He paid little girls to go get other little girls. He paid staff to go get little girls. There's a conspiracy here, baby, and it's a big circle. And there's going to be a lot of information come out. And there's one other thing I wanted to point out about this. I wrote it down right here because it's important. The Southern District of New York, baby, this case is not being handled in the normal area where a sex trafficking case is held in the Southern District. This case, it's being run by the Public Corruption Unit. The Public Corruption Unit. That's a special unit in the Department of Justice that goes after, political figures for taking money or bribes or other things that might be of value. It's being handled by the Public Corruption Unit, baby. Not by the Sex Crimes Unit. It's about sex crimes. But this little story of Jeff Epstein, it's going to blow up, baby. And there are going to be a lot of names. Jim Acosta should resign in disgrace. They actually opted. That guy might have been the Attorney General. He was considered for the Attorney General, a guy that makes a deal like that with a billionaire. But they thought there might be a problem with that later on. So let's put him over in labor because he's a good Trump loyalist, baby. And that's all it takes. It doesn't matter what crimes do you think it gives a shit what Donnie thinks about crimes? No. He's committed them all his life. He's never called the FBI over anything. He told you, baby, because he doesn't give a shit about his country, about our laws, about anything. Inept, incompetent. Might be a few other adjectives we could add to that list of what Donnie is. Yeah, but remember, Donnie said, hey, when you're a star, they let you do it. No, Donnie, that's called rape, baby. That's called sexual assault, Donnie. And I would not be a bit surprised, baby, if we see his name come out in this investigation. Anyway, the British think his career is going to end in disgrace. Well, that would be pretty damn disgraceful. Anyway, I don't know how to change this thing to the new names that Travis put up there on our show yesterday. But I want to thank all those, our Patreon members and those who support the show. Marianne, thank you very much for the letter. Marianne included a nice donation. I hope you don't get mad at me, but when I opened the envelope, I immediately gave that money away, baby. There was a homeless couple at the right out the door there, baby. They needed it more than I did, and that's something we always need to remember. There is always somebody that is in a worse situation than we are, that has a bigger need than we do, and we need to help those people. That's what our country was founded on. That's what our values tell us to do. Those people suffering down there in those detention centers, they don't deserve that. They were coming, life, liberty, in the pursuit of happiness, baby, and they're willing to die for it, to get here, to participate in the American dream. And those on the side of trying to deny that or denying our own Constitution, baby, what we believe in as a nation. It sounds corny, but that's the way it is, baby. Give us your poor, huddled masses yearning to be free. That's the America I like to think of. And that's the America I want us to work to making a better world for all of us. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. John Bernavo, Blue Dot in Texas, on YouTube. John Bernavo on Facebook. John Bernavo Speaks, Blue Dot Family. Go by there and join the family. Join the conversation. Get enlightened and make a friend. And on Twitter, at Blue Dot in Texas. Out my truck window. Anywhere else, we can get this message going. Just continue the message. We have 17 months, baby, to get ready for this. We need it all. We need the presidency. We need the Senate. We need the House. We need your local state representatives to be elected into your state houses to be able to fix the mess that this Republican Party has created in our country. So y'all take care, and we'll see y'all later. Bye. All right. gotta unhook all this shit.